Yeah, hello. If you can hear me, put number 2 in the chat if you can hear me. If you can hear me, put a 2 in the chat. Okay. All right. UD. All right. Nice one. So, as you have seen in the thumbnail, we want to do some trading in the London session using just order flow. Good morning, UD. Good morning. Good to have you here. So, before anything, let us first of all gauge the direction of the market using the order flow. I know I'm going to do a video on this separately, but so that you can be on the same page, you need to understand what I look for to know if a particular direction is bullish or not. One minute. Okay. Now, usually have a profile like this, okay? The high and the low value area, okay? Now, to gauge our direction, you have to listen. To gauge our direction, we want to see the weekly profile, value area high or value area low broken. Okay, we want to see either the H4 or the daily close above this, either the current weekly or the past. Okay, we want to see for a bullish profile, we want to see the daily or the H4 break above the weekly volume profile like this. Then we know that we are bullish on that. All right, and for a bearish, we want to see a close below where we can trade the retest or go to a lower time frame to continue selling the weekly profile. Okay, this will tell you overall direction as a swing trader. So let's go back to our chart and see what the direction is for gold. So to do this, let me take off this. So let it be there. I'll come to the indicator here. On market profile, if I click it, it's on weekly, so I will make it visible. The reason for this is I want to gauge direction. Okay. So if you can see, this particular week, which was last week, this is the current week here. Last week we have a daily close above that, and that was why we were bullish. Okay, we have a bullish close above the value area. This is value area high. At first we rejected it this particular day, and then we close above it. So the moment you see a close above this, you should know that the next week you'll be looking for bullish trades. All right, because this week has closed, and you look at the profile, we have a daily close above it. So from next week, this is what you should be looking for, bullish trades. All right, so that is one way you can gauge directional bias using the volume profile. Okay, now how do you plan your entry? On this side here, I have my fixed weekly profile. Okay, is the current week profile, which is also what is printed here. And on this side is the current monthly profile. Okay, they are fixed. Regardless any time frame I go to, I want to see them on the chart. Okay. Now there are some certain trades we took here. I'm going to show you how that trade was taken, and then what I'm expecting now. What is the possibility of a trade on gold? So currently, this is where gold is, and as you can see, more volumes are being traded at this top here. Okay, so if one is being bullish, remember the market moved from a stage of balance through imbalance, and if it wants to continue with much power, it needs to create that balance again. So this is what is happening currently. You can see the volumes coming in. Big players are trading in there. All right. So in this case, for any bullish move, you can suspend the bullish move because others are building up here. All right. So this is another form of, if we go to a lower time frame, we are going to see consolidation here, meaning they are trying to look for area of balance. Once they gauge it, they decide to go up or come down. Now we know our possibility if price comes down, right? We can see on the chart where we can be looking for a trade. Today is Thursday. So in the current month, the current week, we have 70% was traded here, Monday, Tuesday. Monday, Tuesday, there was 70% of the volume traded before this push up. That is why you see it marked with golden color here. And on that note, there's a value area high and there's a value area low there. So if price will give us a retracement into this area, we can decide to take it. But we will not wait all this while. Okay, I'm just giving you an overview of what or how you read the market. So I'm going to take off the profile on the chart. This one's here, chart here. I'll take it off. Okay, let me put in the value area I here, that which is the white line here. Okay, those are the things. These ones will be there regardless of the time frame I go to. And then what looks like a moving average here is not a moving average. It's simply the VWAP. All right. Now, with the opening strategy, I have a better way to gauge the direction of the market. Right. That is for just the elite traders only. So I'm going to make that invisible. Then we can go to the 4 hour, and then we go to the 1 hour. Right, to try to understand what the market is doing. Now, before then, we have a move up starting from here. So I can also try to gauge at what area where market participants more active. You can see from this move to this point here, if this market starts coming down, we have a value area high here that you can attempt to look for a bullish trade before even getting to this level. Okay, and you can see the distribution of the trade from this low. The VPOC is within, is that the VPOC of this area? Yeah, this is extending here. It's within that Monday and Tuesday. Monday and Tuesday was where the trades were, most of the trade was taken, and then price started flying. Okay, so going to the 4 hour, you can see that more orders is being built up here. The buy, and then looking at, we're going to look at the cumulative volume delta. The buyers are still in control here, aggressive buyers. Now, since the buyers are in control, but price is not even moving up, somebody should tell you that there's a limit order here. I'm going to put on the dome so that you can see there's a passive order in here. Even though much people are buying into this area, there's a limit order holding this, which if it's strong enough, it will push the price down. I'm not the type that trades against the trend. I'm always a patient trader. I'll wait for whatever business is done here to give me retracement. That's number one thing I do. I don't predict a sell in here. Okay, they're selling a sell for a scalp or for a few movement. I don't do that. If I want to take a trade, I take a trade that I know that, yes, I'm comfortable with this trade. I can hold the trade for days. That's the kind of trade I like taking. So you see, this is a retracement. As I said, you trade in line with the direction of the market until it doesn't go in that direction again. And that is where you start getting your losses. And I don't mind that. For example, if price comes down and I feel, okay, let me buy here, I'd get the loss. And looking at it again, I now saw that, okay, eventually there's a change in the direction, then I'll start selling. All right. Now, some people say, oh, using the other flow, why not pick the entry at the top? The question is, if you pick the entry at the top here, will you be able to hold it all the way down? They cannot. So those that take entry at the top here are simply scalpers. You can take entry at the top here, because when I go to the 1 minute, 5 minute, I will see a trade here. Take it for maybe 10 pip move, 10 point move. And then they say they're claiming to take a trade at the top. Can you take the trade at the top here and hold it for a long swing? No. Since I'm a swing trader, I don't need to be looking for a trade at the top here, because the higher time frame will take some time to change the direction. And then if you look at this, we are off the first standard deviation of the VWAP. So it makes sense for price to come towards the VWAP here. If it comes to the first standard deviation, we can attempt to sell, to buy in line with volumes within that area. Okay. And if you look at that, we have this opening price here. There's a gap close to this VWAP. Let me use the writing tool. There's a gap here. Okay. Close to the VWAP. This is the VWAP. Okay. So if price come here, makes sense, buy here. That's one confirmation. Number two confirmation is from this low to this high, let's see the profile there. So you can use your dynamic profile from here to here. You can see this is where the volumes are here. In this case, which is, since we have the value area high here and this area here, and here we have low volume nodes. Low volume nodes are also tradable because they reject price. If price comes there, if price comes in here into the low volume node, you can see there was no volume traded here because of the gap. Once it closes the gap, it can reject immediately. They don't like holding price. You won't see price lingering around there. Is it that it comes straight down, or when it gets there, it rejects back up? You will not see price consolidating there, the low volume nodes. Okay. So for me, I'll prefer this area here. So my setup is we have a high volume node there in line with the opening price, and then the VWAP. By then, hopefully the VWAP will be coming up. When it comes in there, I want to be a buyer here. So this is my own trade setup here as a swing trader. Okay. I want the price when it comes in here. In short, by the time it crosses this line, I'll be looking for ways to see if I can. But the best, from what I can see right now, the best place is this high volume. Yeah. Okay. And it's in line with my reversal opening price. And by then, it will be in line with the VWAP. Then by then, I would also gauge the CVD. Now, why I came out of this trade is because I can see there is a form of absorption happening in here. CVD is strong, because I will soon switch to this area. We are going to look at it in the 5 minutes, and I will explain much about absorption. For you to trade order flow, you just have to understand absorption. Okay, understand the fact that there are two things you can see on the chart. What you can see on the chart here are simply the aggressive buyer. Even in the footprint, they are simply the total volume that have been traded. The other one that you can't see here, unless you look at the market dome, are the limit orders. Okay, and I can tell you that there's a limit order that is absorbing this, and if it supports with a aggressive seller, then the price will push down. Because I've seen absorption here doesn't mean I should jump in, because there's a seller here doesn't mean one should jump in. You have to jump in by the time you see order confirmation, like aggressive sellers are now stepping in, loading more, and they're willing to take lower prices. Then the market should move to the downside. Okay. So for gold, was a beautiful movement throughout the week. But for now, we are just simply waiting to see what will happen. Now you can see it within the 1 hour. Within the 1 hour, you can see strong buyer coming in here. They are coming in, but you can see here, red candle here, buy. What is happening? Are we not supposed to see price continue pushing higher? But no, there's an absorption happening in here. Okay, even though we have red candle coming in, but we are still having overall aggressiveness is bullish. So this is not a good time for you to be buying. I will not, if you are in this trade, for example, these are area where you take off your long trades. These are area you take off your long trades. By the time you look at this, these tools are very good for you to have. Okay. Without this order flow tool now, you'll be like, okay, maybe rejection, something in here. This is not good. What I'm saying here, by the time you start seeing red bar printing in, meaning sellers have stepped in, they can drive this at least to the VWAP. Can drive it to the. So try to understand order flow when you are analyzing the market. I know I'll do more videos to make it even clearer for you, right? But for now, there's an absorption here. We don't need to look for buy. We are looking for buy, but not at this level. Okay. So we wait for it to give us a form of retracement. Then we observe for either exhaustion of this bearish move. In my last video, I talked about exhaustion CVD. You can use the CVD to spot it. Okay, once it comes down, remember the overall direction is bullish. I said you can use exhaustion for a pullback. If I've not watched the video, just go to my channel. You are going to see that video. CVD, cumulative volume delta. So when it comes down, once you see that the sellers are exhausted, you can then enter your stop loss. You can use the VWAP stop loss, maybe a candle wick. That is another VWAP. You can use that as a tight stop loss. Push it up. Okay. Now let's look at Nasdaq. I think there should be a trade there. Now let's go to daily on Nasdaq. So have you seen where I'm in this trade for like 4 days. I'm still in this trade. I saw when market was coming down. I didn't panic. I think I'll put the screenshot in my Telegram. So join the Telegram. I'll put a screenshot of this trade there. So now, why do people buy here? Because as price came in, this was a very good area for us to buy. Remember, this level here, this volume profile here, is the current weekly volume profile. And then this one on the right hand side is the current monthly volume profile. Okay. And this is the daily. So what did I tell you about directional buyers? Number one, let's put in the volume profile. Let me off the VWAP. Once the market is consolidating, the VWAP looks somehow. Okay. Now, last week we have this value area I, and price closed above it on the daily. Price closed above it on it. So you should continue the bullish move. Fast buyers to know if you have to continue buying or selling. So the value area I on the weekly last week, we closed above it. Then if you notice this one too, the one here, we have closed above it. All right, so this market is very bullish. I don't think market will be coming down anytime soon to reverse or go into bearish mode anytime soon. Because number one, we've closed above the previous week value area I daily, and the week before then closed. This was the highest week on the chart. All right. Then if you look at it, that was the highest week, highest level that the seller reversed from. And then currently, we've closed above the value area high, where a lot of people transact business to push this market down. We've closed above it. So what is it telling you? The market is bullish. Okay? So now, if you are checking this market earlier, all right, and you want to take the trade, this is how you'll have done it. Okay? Let me take off the volume profile on the candles. So I'm going to off it. Now, this is a prominent area, right? We have here high volume nodes. You can see the high volume. Don't mind my, let me use a rectangle. Oh, shaped. Is it here? From here. Now, what can you notice around that? As I said, I don't trade the high volume node blindly. Right? I have a strategy that I trust in so well. The the order flow helps me to have a better picture on my strategy. Simple. We have this continuation opening price. So this was a very good area you should have bought from. Okay, you can buy from here. One price was down, you can buy from here. Okay, because we have high volume nodes, we have the continuation opening price, and the market is bullish. Don't always sell against the market. As I said earlier, some people at these high volume nodes here, high value area high here, they will be looking for a scalping. The only thing they can do here is scalping or intraday, which do not have a high win probability like what I'm showing you. That's why if you're a new trader, I will encourage you to stick to a swing trading, because swing trading will give you much clarity. Okay, but we are going to go to the lower time frame here. This is more like educational, and if you have missed an area to enter, then let's talk about education. Okay, so one thing you've learned here is that number one, you can gauge the direction. I'm teaching you my premium ways of knowing the direction just looking at the chart by combining the weekly volume profile, okay, and my daily candles. Daily candle, okay, very powerful way to know direction. Like this week now, if you get a close above it, I'll continue looking for buy, which is more likely to happen. It's going to happen. We're going to have a close above this value here high. Next week, you look for buy. You don't have to wait for Raba to come live. Okay. And if you don't have a robust strategy, you can join my Telegram, send me a message, then we can see where we can start from. All right. So you can see this market. There was this for monthly. Imagine this area here. Imagine this area. Billions traded within this area. So for price to come and reverse all of this, it's going to take time. It's going to take time. So the worst it can come into this value area low high here on the monthly, trade a little bit into probably another key level here, and then push up, because these are high volume nodes on the monthly, very powerful. Okay, so if I go to the 4 hour, okay, we have a kind of exhaustion here. Okay, so now if you are not in this trade, you want to take this trade, this is where you are going to take the trade. This is our trade setup here. Wait for it to come to the opening price, reverse opening price. From there, take your trade. This is our trade setup here. All right, price come in here, take your entry, we push higher. Okay, so now on order flow perspective, you can see the sellers here are coming heavily down, but it's not reflected in the price. They are selling. No, imagine somebody selling, being aggressive, making a whole lot of noise. Oh, I will do this to you. I will do this to you. But you can't see the effort. That's the beauty of order flow, right? You can see all the seller aggressive at the end of both buyers and sellers are coming in here aggressively. But what happened? There was a limit order. There was a limit order somewhere here, just around there. There was limit orders. Remember, I will introduce it to the dome, but you won't see it again because it has already taken place. Now, what is preventing those sellers to go further? The moment you understand this, you are nailing trading. Aggressive buyer and passive buyer. AB and PB. Then we have aggressive seller, AS, and passive seller, PS. Once you understand the mechanics around these four participants, you'll become a better trader. Okay, and what can help you gauge that is to have these tools. Now, you can see here the aggressive seller were coming in very fast. They were coming in very fast. All right. What you expect is that, all right, you get a continuation, more of red candles. But what happened? Price came here, especially this space, had a roadblock. They keep selling. If I go to the footprint, you are going to see a lot of sell here. Let's go to the footprint. Let's go to the footprint chart. And then let me mark out that area. For one, take off this high volume. Remember this area, okay? This is where you want to be buying. The reason is for you to have a good risk to reward. If you enter here, there's nothing wrong entering here. But remember, this is 4 hour. And the next resistance is this. This man here. You can see price were there in the past. Definitely, if it comes in here, that's your target. So I know price will push higher, but you don't just overlook what is in front of you. These are areas where you can start taking off some of your profits. So it's better for you to wait for price to come. If it does not come, it breaks above it. This reversal opening price becomes a support. You can buy here, then push price up. Okay. So I want to take this place, yeah. Right. So let's go to 5 minutes. Let's look at the 5 minutes. Now, if you look at the 5 minutes, on the candlestick alone, it's not going to tell you much. As you can see is that red candle came in, reject, and then nothing much. Okay, maybe it broke this level and then came back, test, and started going up. We want to see how the volumes came into here. So I'm going to switch this to footprint chart. Okay, and then I'll use my template. Okay, so and I have the delta cluster chart there. Okay, so this is the area. Let's do some study here. Okay. Let me make this big. You can see, I told you that there will be a lot of sellers. You can see sell coming in. Now, these sellers here are being trapped because they didn't have, number one, they didn't have a counter. Nobody was selling. Nobody was placing any offer in the ask. The seller were eating the bid. Okay. So as they were eating the bid, you can see all these sell volumes coming in, but they were unable to push price. What happened there? It diminished. The sell from this volume, high volume, came low. That is a sign of absorption. Okay. And then if you look at this particular candle, if you look at this particular candle, now pay attention. You see this candle? Look at its statistics here. There were 15,000 traded. At the point, the maximum negative delta was 2K. 2,000 were eating was within this bar. Then all of a sudden, it only closed at minus 1K. What is it telling you? That buyers were stepping in. Okay, buyers were stepping in. Now, if we zoom here, look at the buy in here. 120. 120. Did you see any value bigger than that here? That is a clue. That's a clue for you that at this place here, a lot of people started buying. Yeah. Okay. 120 compared to the number here, 25 is they're not up to 120. After they were absorbed, buyers jumped in. Okay. Push price. Right. Push price up there. Then the next bar, you can see more buyers now start stepping in. Look at the delta here. More aggressive sell buyers start coming in. Okay. Even though the negative trying at the point it was minus 140, all of a sudden it erased and then became positive delta. So these are ways. Immediately this candle, if you are to be a scalper now, immediately this candle closes, you can buy. You can buy there and then put your stop loss just below that. Okay. But before we go into this level of noise of lower time frame in and out, try to understand the market first. Okay, try to understand. That's why you see me. My series of live trading will be number one, you gauging direction. Once you can gauge direction, it helps a lot. It makes the work easier. Okay, so one of those ways is simply using your volume profile, the weekly, and then use that to gauge. So we have our setup here for 4 hour. You want to take the entry when it come down here, right? If that doesn't happen, a close above, retest, take. Okay. Okay. So let's take a look at Euro USD. So this is Euro USD. First of all, how do you gauge your direction. Go to your daily. Okay, UD says do German 40. Okay, I'll do that. Let me do that German 40 first. German is DAX. Not available. 1 minute. Okay. So this is the DAX. Okay. I wanted to be sure that they are the same page. All right. So first of all, gauging direction. So what I need to do here, this is the current. So indicator, let's put on the market value, market profile. Quickly. Let me change this. Okay. So you can see the last weekly we close below, so we should be bearish on this. We close below. So coming into this week, we should be. That's why I see market trading and lower. And then this week, this is the current week high and low. And from the look of things, it's going to, it might close above and below that. Okay. But I will not recommend for a sell. Why? We have an opening price here. Okay. We have an opening price. And then secondly, what is happening here is orders are being built. Okay? They are taking their orders here to the market. So where do we have this opening price at the value area low? All right. So it doesn't make sense to be selling at support. So what we need to do is to observe I will look at the CVD. I like using it as I don't like the default. I like to see it plays out. So I want to see that for me to buy this, maybe price is coming in here. I need to buy because you are at value area low. I have to be sure that the sellers are exhausted. Okay, simple as that. But this market is always good to go bearish. So let's go to the 4-hour and see if we can get a better picture. Let's see. Level of consolidation going on. Okay, we are printing lower lows. Nice. Sellers are still in control. Let's go to H1. Now, something interesting is happening here. You can see that within this move here, it created a lower low. Yeah, it was here. But we're finding ad is almost at the same price here. So what it's saying is that exhaustion. But remember, exhaustion is used if the market is doing a pullback. But from the look of this, this is not a pullback. So this is not a good setup for the buy. So usually what I would do is for me to, because the selling, yeah, if we are selling from that area and it's getting to the daily reverse opening price, as you know, those are where you take a profit and then you see if there's going to be a rejection at that level. Once there's rejection, you know what to look for in the H4 so that we can be sure that we are at the same page. The 4-hour needs to do some things. By the way, for those of you hearing this, Yudi is my student and she knows what to look for. Okay, when I say she knows what to look for, she does. All right. So at this point here, the price is at the decision level, at the key level where if you are selling, take off your sell here and then wait for today to close. All right. If it rejects, then we know there's a possibility that price will push higher. So that is what I can see. I don't want to go to the lower time frame to 15 minutes. I didn't get data for this to check the footprint chart. It's delayed for some minutes. Okay. Didn't get data for this because I'm not trading this with the order flow yet. So last we'll check the Euro USD. Let's go back. Euro USD. FX, Euro FX. Oh, another good pair to trade is silver right now. Silver is on fire. The big trades. Others are built up here. Don't if you are in buy position, just take it off. Uh the big trade shows sellers stepping here to sell. Okay. Buyers are still strong, are present, but they are tired. They're not doing. But I can see absorption. It's a clear absorption. Not clear yet. Not clear yet. So we'll simply wait for more. Why do we say we are expecting price to go to? Take our buy. Okay, around there. And you can see, if we look at it, they came in here already. So this is a very good side. You can see this yellow bubble here. Buyers push this, they are still present there. So price coming there is a good place to buy at the open price. Okay, so if you have any question, put in the chat. Then you can come back and watch this again to gauge two things here. Number one, to gauge your direction. And what did I say? You go to your weekly profile, daily close above the value area high, you'll be bullish for next week. All right. If it's a close below, be bullish for, bearish for the following week. Now, let me put it down on like a footnote or take away. All right. Take away. There are three scenarios. All right. And the last one. Okay. So let's say this value area high, this value area low, value area high, value area low, value area. Okay, this is your takeaway. And then we have if price close above on the daily, oh, if price close above At the end of the week, you check and you see a daily close above. This is bullish. Okay, so that means next week, look for bullish trades. All right. If market closes below, that is bearish. So the next week that follows, yeah. Now, if market do not, maybe it was weakened, there's a week here, there was no close above or below. That means the market is consolidating and you trade the value area high and low. When price gets here, you sell, and it gets here, you buy. That's based on the, or you look at the previous week that comes. Okay. If the previous week before this failure of closure is bullish, it closed bullish. When you simply wait, if price come to the area here, you look for bullish trades only. Okay, look for bullish trades only until it changes. I keep teaching you, be bullish until it changes. Yes, since this is a higher time frame area, you can sell around there, but you have to have other confidence that you're going to put in your favor. All right, don't just trade the volume profile blindly, like the way I see most people do. Or is at the level here you sell? That the first thing is your direction, because if your direction is wrong, if you like use volume profile, you are going to lose. Mind you, this is not holy grail. Okay, this is not holy grail. Don't let anyone deceive you, because 90% of futures traders, they have this tool, they have it, and they still fail. Just like the failure rate is just like that of forex. They have the volume profile, they have the CVD, so it's not something new. It's not a new thing. If you're a futures trader, you'll be connected to data feeds. You'll be using platform like Ninja Trader, Sierra Chart. They have all of this, and the failure rate is still the same with forex. The reason is that a lot of them just trade the volume profile. Oh, value area high, let me be selling. Value area low, let me be buying. Okay. VWAP, it comes to the VWAP, you buy. All those things are rubbish. Use volume profile to have a better understanding of the market. Simple. Then you have your way of doing your direction. It's key. If your directional bias out of 10, you get 7 correct, then you are good to go. You are good to go. Okay. And this is what I offer. Anyone that knows me knows that this is what I give to you. Now, because if you know that the market is bullish, you let patience come in, high volume nodes, that's where you sell. It now looks simple. Okay. So don't forget, join the Telegram. The link is in the description. Yeah, it should be in the description. I don't know if I put it there. Right, join the Telegram. From there, I can do some Zoom calls with the Telegram people only, maybe during the weekend. And if I see good numbers there, I might. But for now, just join. When the time is right, I will do the Zoom call. So I believe you have those setups ready. We know the direction of those markets we've gone through. I'm a swing trader. I'm not a scalper. All right. We have our setup here. This is where we want to buy. This is where we want to be buying. And our buying is intraday. Remember, gold is in all-time high, and there are a lot of volumes here already. So when you buy and it goes up, getting to these opening prices, to take your profits is an intraday setup. All right, it's an intraday setup. So on that note, I'll see you later. I'll make a video on this, more comprehensive video, and you should learn from me. Good to have you here. Thanks for joining. Bye bye.